All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the others, a great millstone, and peace and salutations to the brothers that are doing this work through sincerity. And we're going to jump right into the lesson. This is Isaiah 6:13. And it says, As one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and you should be comforted in Jerusalem. So, as one whom his mother comforteth, a mother's love, a nurturing, caring of your own. So as we enter to this time of Jacob's trouble, because we are in the time of Jacob's trouble. All you're gonna do is see things escalate from here on out. uh, there's gonna be a time when you're going to seek the Lord's comfort, or you're gonna be reminded of the Lord's comfort, and the comfort that the Lord's gonna give us is a comfort of a mother, a motherly comfort, meaning that's a very deep, a very caring, a very possessive comfort. Let's get that word comforters. It says be sorry because someone sorry to be moved to pity, to have compassion, to comfort myself, be comfort. That's a key one right there. To move to pity, to have compassion. The Lord's gonna have compassion on us on these days. The Lord's gonna have compassion on His elect, on the 1/3. The scripture says He cares for His elect. Let's go ahead and get that. Pause it. This is a Wisdom of Solomon 3:9. It says, "They that put their trust in Him shall understand the truth." That's going to be the elect right there. "And such as be faithful in love shall abide with Him. For grace and mercy is to His saints, and He has care for His elect." And that care is it's spoken about in the scripture we just read, Isaiah 66:13. Let's run that back again. Isaiah Isaiah 66:13. It says, "As one who is mother comforts, so will I comfort you. You shall be comforted in Jerusalem." And Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. "And when you see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like a herb. And the hand of the Lord shall be known toward His servants, His indignation toward His enemies." And there's another scripture go ahead and get. This is Sirach 47:22. It said, "But the Lord will never leave off His mercy, neither shall any of His works perish. Neither will He abolish the posterity of His elect, and the seed of him that loves Him. He will not take away. Wherefore give a raiment to Jacob, out of him a root unto David." So, the Lord has a special care for the elect, man. The elect are very important in the eyes of the Most High. Let's get that in Isaiah. Where is it at? Is it Isaiah or is it another scripture? This is Malachi 3:17, and they shall be mine. So the Lord is very possessive about His elect, man. It's like a mother is possessive of her child, as we read Isaiah 6:13. The Lord is possessive about His elect. It says, "And they shall be mine, says the Most High of hosts. And that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spares his own son that serves him." So that showed you the importance, the importance that the Lord places upon the elect, man. A very great importance. Let's go back to to let's go back to Isaiah 66:13. It says, "As one who is mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and shall be comfort Jerusalem. And when you see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of the Lord shall be known to His servants, and indignation towards enemies." There's going to be a very great separation between what the elect are going to be going through and what the wicked will be going through. We're going to have a hedge of protection upon us, man. We're not going to get it like they got it, man. Jacob's trouble is ultimately for the 2/3. It's ultimately for their judgment. It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with His chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain the Lord shall be many. Here in America, billions of deaths. That's coming in the very near future, man. It says, they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves, their gardens behind one tree, in the midst eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouth shall be consumed together, says Most High. That's talking about our people who partake in these other philosophies, man. But the Lord has a care for the elect. See, he says he's going to shorten these days for the elect's sake, man. Let's go ahead and get that. I'll just put sake. Let's see here. This is Matthew 24 and 22. And this is verse 21, Matthew 24, 21. So, for there shall be great tribulation, so it will not since the beginning of the world to this time, or ever shall be. That's the time that we're in right now. The time, the beginning of sorrows, the time of Jacob's trouble. But except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. That's how severe everything's going to be. Because we read in Malachi how he's going to bring the sword and fire upon the wicked of our people and these Edomites and heathens. The saying, except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, man. So why is he going to shorten those days? Because he has a extreme care for the elect. He has a very special sentiment towards the elect, man. So that's why we hope we are that's why we wish, we pray that we are the hopeful elect. Because the elect in the 1/3, that's what's going to receive mercy. They're the ones that's going to be sealed, exempt from judgment, man. Let's go ahead and get that. This is Malachi, Ezekiel 9 and 4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, to who? The angel of judgment. It says, go to the midst of the city, to the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark. Let's get the word set. I like these little footnotes. Always get them. That's not what I wanted. Put a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry. Let's get the word mark. It says, as a sign of exemption from judgment. So that's the care of the elect, man. It says, the Lord sent him, go to the midst of the city. And that great city is America. America is that great city is spoken about in the book of Revelation. It says to the midst of Jerusalem, like I said, this is a people before it's a place. It said a mark upon the foreheads, and we get that definition with the word mark, of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. And those he said in my hearing, go ye after him to a city and smite, and not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity, slay utterly old and young, both maids, little children, and women, but come not near any man whom is the mark, and begin in my sanctuary. They began the ancient when men were before the house. So come not near, man. There's specific instruction given, just like you read the book of Job. There was specific instruction given to what Satan was allowed to do to Job. Job's he wasn't murdered, he wasn't killed, but he was pushed to his spiritual limits, man. He was pushed to his limits, and that signifies Job signifies the elect. He is a representative of the elect, man. The elect are going to lose all things and go through all things and be tempted of all things, but the Lord's already destined them to win and to receive 100-fold of what they've sacrificed for this truth. That's part of the care that the Lord has for his elect, man. We're hoping that we be of that number. And it says that it says hurt. As you go into verse 6, it says, but come not near any man whom is the mark, bring no harm to him, but judge everybody else. And you see that in the scriptures as well. One of them is Revelation 7:3. Let's go ahead and get that. You see that the Lord is going to have a special protection about the elect. I'll start at verse 2, and it says, Revelation 7:2, and I saw the angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels whom was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till they have sealed the servants of our power in our forehead. And that's in direct reference to Zechariah, Zechariah 9th chapter that we just read. So that's the special care that the Lord has for his elect. There's a special hedge of protection, among them. So let's go ahead and get it's a lot. 2 Timothy 2:19. This is 2 Timothy 2:19, and it says, nevertheless, the foundation of Yahweh standeth sure, having the seal. The Lord knows them that are his, that everyone that nameth the name of Meshach depart from iniquity. So the Lord knows them that are his. The Lord knows who his elect is. And he's not looking at them by, he knows who his 1/3 is. He knows who his elect is. He's not looking at them by their outward appearance, whether they look black or white or so-called Hispanic or whatever other nations. The Lord knows that are his. He is a father of spirits. Scripture talk about how the wheat and the tares grew together, and they were separated or filtered through in the last day. So the Lord has a special concern for his elect, man. He knows those that are his. There's not going to be a judgment as the world's going to receive judgment. That's going to be designed and destined for the wicked of our people. Just like Daniel was saved from the fiery furnace, the Lord's going to save his elect from the new fiery furnace, which is going to be these missiles. You read that account of the book of Daniel, there was no harm, not even a single hair burn on their head. That's the protection that the Lord can put upon his elect. So this is not a time for fear. This is not a time for doubt. This is not a time for any of those things that pertain to the flesh, because fear and doubt are byproducts of the flesh. This is the time for boldness of spirit, for enduring, for pressing down on the gas, so to speak. The days are being shortened. The days are being shortened. The Lord promises that. So there's really nothing to fear, man. With that being said, just another quick lesson. Most I wouldn't hope was edifying. I would give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Call Halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Brothers, keep on pushing. Shalom.